Let's talk significant figures or significant digits. Anything that isn't zero is significant. SIG for significant because that's a long word. For example, if I have the number 7,153, all four of those digits are significant. So this is an S, just to be clear. S for significant. The 7 is significant. So is the 1. So is the 5. So is the 3. All four of those are significant because none of them are zero. So really the big question with significant figures is, what about the zeros? And the short answer to that is it depends where they are. If I have a zero that's between two things that aren't zero, that's significant. So if I have the number, say, 7,053, that zero is in between 7 and 5, which are both not zero and both significant. So that zero that's in between two things that aren't zero is significant. So again, all four of those digits are significant. If I have a whole number and I have zeros at the end of it, those zeros are not significant. So for example, if I have the number 753,000, those first three digits are significant because they're not zero. Since all the rest of the digits in that number are zero, there's nothing, no decimal point or anything, all those ones to the right are not significant. So this is N for not significant. So the number 753,000 has three significant figures only. That same idea is true for zeros that are to the right of the decimal point, but before anything that isn't zero. So in the 10th place, say, to the right of the decimal point, but before, these rules get longer and longer, anything that is significant. Those are not significant. So for example, in the number 0.0753, the 7, the 5, and the 3 are significant because they're not zero, so automatically that makes them significant. The only question here is the zero. That zero is not significant. It's after the decimal point, but before anything that isn't zero. It has to be there, has to tell us that the 7 is in the 100th place and not the 10th place, but it's not significant. And then zeros that are at the end of a number to the right of a decimal point. So they're after significant figures at the end. Are significant. For example, if I say 0.075300, that zero at the front is still not significant because it came before anything that wasn't zero. The 7, the 5, and the 3 automatically are because they're not zero. And then those last two zeros are both significant. if we're taking, say, very precise measurements of some kind, and there's a possibility that these last two places could be something other than 0. So I've rounded. Those two decimal places just happen to both be 0. That's significant. The same way, something similar, if I have 753,000.0, as soon as that 0 goes after the decimal point to the right of the decimal point, now everybody's significant. Squish them in here. So this number has 7 significant digits, as opposed to when I didn't have a decimal point, it was just a whole number, only the first 3 were significant.